It seems that every day brings another new political surprise in Washington right now. And Tuesday's surprise was Nikki Haley announcing that she's resigning as President Trump's United Nations ambassador.
So, Nikki, I just wanted to tell you that we will miss you. We'll be speaking all the time, but we will miss you nevertheless, and you have done a fantastic job.
Obviously, a lot of speculation about why. It's not clear. Ambassador Haley said she only intended to serve 2 years, and so she'll serve to the end of this year and then leave. There's really no reason to doubt that. At the same time, though, the arrival of Mike Pompeo as Secretary of State and John Bolton as National Security Advisor have kind of restricted her freedom and her power a little bit. Mr. Pompeo has a much better relationship with the president than Rex Tillerson, his predecessor, did. And John Bolton himself is a former UN ambassador, so that may have reined her in a bit. But the one thing that's clear is that this is not the last we'll hear of Nikki Haley. At the age of 46 and a former two-term governor of South Carolina, she's one of the clear rising stars in the Republican Party. That, of course, this being Washington, has led to a lot of speculation about where she goes from here. And it's possible she simply wants to resign, go to the private sector, and make some money before returning to public life. There are a lot of ways that could happen. President Trump, for example, said he'd love to have her back in his administration at some point, and it's not hard to see her down the road as a potential Secretary of State or National Security Advisor. That may be one way she returns to the political world. There are other ways. In South Carolina, her native state, there's a lot of speculation that Senator Lindsey Graham, a favorite of President Trump's these days, might become the new Attorney General after the midterm elections, in which case Nikki Haley could slide into his spot as a Republican senator from South Carolina. Nobody says that's going to happen, but it's at least a possibility that people are now immediately speculating upon. It's also true, though, that just about everybody in the Republican Party sees Nikki Haley as a potential presidential candidate sometime down the road.
There's no doubt that she's a force, and I have actually heard a lot of people on both sides of the aisle say if we're going to have our first female president, it could very likely be Nikki Haley.
She's a rising female star in a time of rising power of political women, and so that's a natural conclusion. It's unlikely that will be in 2020 against Donald Trump, given the way they shower praise on each other these days.
No, I'm not running for 2020. I can promise you what I'll be doing is campaigning for this one.
But sometime down the road, that seems more likely to happen than not. And as I said, it's clear we haven't heard the last of Nikki Haley.